Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gonita, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembly devotees. So we are talking about the abodes of the Spirit, the Lord, and we already talked about Golok, where Lord Krishna himself resides, and we've talked about a little bit about Ayodhya, Vaikuntha, the Brahman, effulgence of the Lord, Lord Shiva's abode, Mahesh Dham. Now we're talking about Devi Dham, which is the material world where we are living. So we've talked about the coverings, the 7 coverings, which are the covering the universe. And beyond that is the structure of the universe itself. So here are the 7 coverings. So every universe has these coverings. These coverings are very hard to penetrate. Yes, Madhuban?
આ બધા લોક છે they all આવી જ રીતે એકબીજાની નીચે ને ઉપર છે કે પછી જેમ આપણી પૃથ્વી ગોળ છે એમ બધુંય રાઉન્ડ છે એટલે બધા આમ એક જ ઓલામાં રાઉન્ડ ઓલામાં છે કે કાંઈ એના વિશે કહી શકશો?
It is, we believe, well, the Bhagavatam describes the structure of the universe in like this format. So it is in this format. That is how they're describing it. So there's 14 locks. 6 are below earth, 7 are above earth. And this is how it's described in the Bhagavad Puran. Yeah.
Okay. Each other underneath,
Underneath each other, that's correct. And the top is Satyalok, and then Bhulok is in the middle here, earth, and Patalok is right at the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you for asking. Very good. So let's have a look at, so this is what we want to look at now. Let's just have a look at, what was the other thing? There are 3 different stages of planets: higher, middle, and lower planetary systems. And Lord Brahma, secondary creator, has created the 14 planetary systems because he has been given the special power by the Lord to create. So he's regarded to be the secondary creator. And Lord Brahma is here, right at the top of the lotus stem, where there's a lotus flower. He's on top, he's sitting on that flower. And this is a closer look at the different lokas. So we'll go through each one briefly. Satyalok. This is the abode of Lord Brahma. So Satyalok is right at the top here, right at the top. And most pious souls in our world live there, the most pious souls. So they're extremely elevated persons. Residents, they have subtle bodies. They don't have bodies like ours, gross. Our body, it becomes diseased, old. But their bodies don't get diseased. They don't get old because their bodies are not gross like ours. It's not made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. They have subtle bodies made of intelligence, ego, and mind. There is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind. The duration of life in Satyalok is calculated to be 15.48 trillion years. Yes, Naniman?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I thought that on all the material planets, death is there, even though the longevity is long, death is there.
Death is there. Death is there. But they just don't get old. What happens, I believe,
because you've written here no death. That's what I'm saying.
Where have I written? No death.
There is a death.
Oh, that's wrong. That's correct. That's incorrect. Yeah, good. Actually, let me change that. There is death, but the way they die is that they don't have they don't get old. So what happens is they all wear a garland. And that garland becomes old. When the garland becomes old, they leave their body, basically. So yes, there is no such thing as, there is death, of course, but it's not in the traditional sense that the body gets old and then they die. Good. No, well, thank you for spotting that. Very good. The size of this Satyalok it covers 1/3 of the universe. So it's huge, absolutely huge. 1/3 of the universe is covered by it. And additional bonus if one is living in the Satyalok, if Brahma is a devotee of God, then everybody who is on Satyalok, when the creation comes to an end, they will all go to Vaikuntha, if Brahma is a devotee. So this is perhaps a little strange. What do you mean if Brahma is a devotee? Is Brahma never a devotee? Well, sometimes the Brahmas may be non-devotees, because the Brahma is the most qualified person in the universe to create. Doesn't mean that he's automatically a devotee of God. So this is perhaps a little strange for us to understand. How can that be so? But it explains in the Bhagavad Puran that not all Brahmas are devotees of God. They are qualified for sure, but they may not have that affection for God. Our Brahma, we are very lucky. He is a great devotee of the Lord, not just a devotee, but a great devotee of the Lord. So, and he is the person who is the head of the sampradaya that we're following. So, very important personality. So that's Satyalok. Tapalok, those who have performed severe penances and austerities are transferred here. So an example is the four Kumaras. The four Kumaras are very austere. They are brahmacharis from birth. They're as old as Brahma himself. And they engage in great penance. So they live there in Tapalok. Tapalok is just below Satyalok. Yeah, that's right. Vasudeva, presiding deity of consciousness, is meditated upon in Tapalok, and millions of rishis sit and meditate or discuss philosophy. So this is an amazing place. Strict vanaprasthas attain Tapalok. So Tapalok is an interesting place. Then we have Janalok, which is just below Tapalok.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Strict vanaprasthas attain Tapalok. What does it mean?
Vanaprastha are those household couples who have given up, who have retired, basically.
Yeah. Okay, and that strict devotee હોય ને strict જે લોકો વધારે સેવા કરતા.
That's right.
Thanks.
They visit holy places, they're just focused on God all the time. They don't have any, like they don't go out for parties or, they're very, very strict. Janalok, yagyas are performed at Janalok, Yageshwar, by the Prajapatis. Prajapatis are the sort of grandsires of mankind. Lord Nrsimhadev resides with Divya Saraswati Lakshmi in Janalok. After death in Janalok, great saintly persons and mystics, after death, great saintly persons and mystics go to Janalok. So this is not an easy place to attain, a very hard place to attain. Strict brahmacharis attain Janalok, but it is still within this material world. Okay? Even if one goes to these places, which are incredible places to go, it's still in the material world. But here, the opportunity to connect with the Supreme Lord is great because the atmosphere is very sattvic. The residents are very strict in their tapasya towards the Lord. So those who are in these places, have a great opportunity to attain the spiritual world. Then we have Mahalok. Great sages and advanced yogis such as Bhrigu Muni live here for 4.3 million years, a long life. Householders, grahasthas, who strictly follow the rules, attain Mahalok. When the fire of devastation almost reaches this planet, the residents transport themselves to Janalok. So when there is this fire of devastation, which occurs at the end of every day of Brahma, all of these systems are affected. They get effectively destroyed. But the three top, Satyalok, Tapalok, Janalok, that does not get destroyed at the end of Lord Brahma's day. So what happens is those who are living in Mahalok at that time go to Janalok. So it's quite interesting. Dhruvlok is between Swarglok and Mahalok. This is a Vaikuntha planet and is also the pivotal point for the turning of the universe. So let's have a look at that. There you go. Dhruvlok is between Bhulok and Mahalok. What was it? Swarglok and Mahalok. Between the heavens and Mahalok. At the end of Brahma's life, or when Mahavishnu breathes in, the whole universe, whole material creation is destroyed. However, Dhruvlok, because it's a Vaikuntha planet, is not destroyed. It is transferred to the spiritual world. So Dhruvlok never gets destroyed. Yes, Nanivan?
Yes, Dhruvlok is also, when we were young, we studied that Dhruvlok is a very steady, it doesn't change its position. It's always in one position in the sky.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, oh, you learned that when you were young, huh?
Very young, when we were in school in Uganda.
Oh, my.
And Dhruvlok is what the ship, when they were lost for direction, they always look at the Dhruvlok in which direction the ship is. And from there, they find the way out.
Okay. Wow.
So you're talking about Dhruv star, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this we learn in very, very young school. Yeah, we learn that same thing. Yeah.
Wow. So
were you in Africa, Madhuben?
ના હું ઓરિજિનલ ઇન્ડિયામાં બોર્ન થઈ છું ભણી છું ઇન્ડિયામાં.
Okay, અમે તો આફ્રિકામાં ભણ્યા તો સરખું જ કહેવાય. હા, or we may have heard from our parents the story of Dhruvlok.
That's right. મોટા આપણે આપણા પેરેન્ટ્સ પાસેથી દાદા દાદી પાસેથી ઘણું શીખા હોય.
Nice.
Very interesting. So in the Bhagavatam, it explains Dhruvlok is like the pole star, as you said. It doesn't move. It's the pivotal point for the universe. When the universe turns, Dhruvlok is very steady. So as you said, it never moves. It's very fixed. Very good. Thank you for that. Below Mahalok is Swarglok. Heaven. This is the heavenly planets. And the karmis or the fruitive workers, i.e. those who follow the Vedas and perform yagyas according to the Vedas to please the devatas, they can end up in Swarglok. So the karmis, the fruitive workers, can elevate themselves to Swarglok planets, which includes the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Venus, etc. After the good karma is finished in Swarglok, because to get to Swarglok, you need to have a lot of good karma, a lot of pious activities. But when the karmic reaction of that good karma is finished, when the bank account, this karmic bank account is finished, then one has to come back to earth again. The denizens of heaven, who live in the planetary systems, beginning from Swarglok, cannot even see Lord Vishnu in Svetadweep. So This is quite interesting. So even though one is in heaven and is a resident of heaven, you won't be able to see the Lord Vishnu. Can't see him. Unable to reach the island, this is the island in Shwetadweep in Dhruvlok, they can simply approach the beach of the Milk Ocean to offer transcendental prayers to the Lord, appealing to him on special occasions to appear as an incarnation. So when the earth is in trouble, like it was 5,000 years ago, the Devatas, headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they went to Shwetadweep, to the ocean of milk, to petition the Lord to protect them. At that time, only Brahma and Lord Shiva could see Lord Vishnu on the ocean, on the milk ocean. All the other devatas, the effulgence was too bright. They could not have darshan of the Supreme Lord. So it's not so easy. Even if one is a demigod, you may not get darshan of the Supreme Lord. Not so easy. At the end of Lord Brahma's day, everything up to Swarglok is inundated with water. And then there's also a fire, which which also affects Mahalok, as we just discussed. Indra, the king of the higher planetary systems, has the power to push down any conditioned soul attempting to go from the lower to the higher planets without proper qualification. I think there's an example of Harishchandra in the pastime of what's his name? Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra tried to get Harishchandra to go to the heaven in his earthly body. But Indra stopped that from happening. So Satyalok, Tapalok, Janalok, Mahalok, Swarglok. So these are the...
Sorry, why he stopped? Why he stopped?
Because they don't have, even in Swarglok, they don't have bodies like ours.
Oh,
Even in Swarglok, their bodies are subtle.
Subtle, yeah.
So we're not qualified to go
there.
Yeah. That's why. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is, in order to go to Swarglok, one has to have performed a lot of pious activity, great pious activity. And without that qualification, one is not allowed to enter into Swarglok. Yeah. So those are the two main things. So now we are coming into Bhuvalok. Bhuvalok is part of...
Sorry, Prabhu.
That's okay.
So
that's okay.
That's sometimes, આપણે બધા વાતો કરીએ કે બહુ સારા પુણ્ય કર્યા હશે એટલે આ તો સ્વર્ગમાં જાશે.
That's it.
But that's not...
Yes, that's it.
It's not easy because...
Not easy.
તો સ્વર્ગલોકમાં તો આમાંથી કેટલા કોઈ રેર કોક જઈ શકતા હશે.
Quite rare. It's quite rare. Correct. Yes, it is quite rare, especially in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, it's so hard to do any really good things. So, we're always battling against the three modes of material nature, and usually we are going downhill rather than uphill. So, yeah, correct. You're correct. Absolutely right.
But in Kali Yuga, have you ever heard about Jalaram Bapa?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. એને ત્યાં જોયેલું આખું એનું રિયલ એની જે સ્ટોરી છે એનો જે જીવન ચરિત્ર છે એની લાઈફ હિસ્ટ્રી તો એમાં એને તો લેવા રીસર એમ કે છે કે રથ આવ્યો હતો અને એનો જે એક ડિવોટી હતો એને એમ કીધું હતું એને બહુ મજાક કરતો અને એને એમ કીધું હતું કે જો જલા તને લેવા માટે જો રથ આવે ભગવાનનો તો મને લીધા વગર નહીં જાજે. તો જલા બાપાએ પ્રોમિસ એમ કે હું જઈશ તો તને લઈને જ જઈશ. અને વેન આ બન્યું ત્યારે ઈ ગામથી બીજા ગામથી ગામમાં આવતો હતો વીરપુરમાં અને જલા બાપાએ રથ ઉભો રખાયો અને એને કીધું જો હું જાઉં છું. મને નામ ભૂલી ગઈ છું કે હું જાઉં છું ચાલ તારે આવું તું ને હું લેવા તને આવ્યો છું હવે. પણ ઓલો એને મજાક માનીને ગયો નહીં. એટલે કળિયુગમાં પણ જલારામ જેવા બધા એવા જઈ શક્યા હશે ને સ્વર્ગમાં. ભગવાન એને રથ મોકલો એટલે કઈક તો હશે ને.
I think Jalaram Bapa is, I think as far as I understand, he was a great devotee of God. And he would have not just gone to Swaglok, but way beyond.
Maybe, yeah, સાચી વાત છે.
Probably
બહુ
back to the spiritual world.
એની વાઇફ બે,
એ રામના ભક્ત હતા ને, he would have gone to Ayodhya in
Yeah,
the spiritual world.
Yeah. So in કળિયુગમાં એવા તો બીજા છે જ, જેમ જલા બાપા છે એમ બે ચાર નામ જે લોકો જઈ શક્યા છે, પણ ઇટ્સ વેરી રેર. અને એટલું બધું આપણે ના.
There's quite a few. Narsi Mehta, Surdas, these are all great devotees. Mirabai.
મીરાબાઈ, એટલે જઈ શકે છે પણ બહુ રેર કેસીસ છે.
It's rare, but આપણે આપણું જીવન એવું મોલ્ડ કરી શકીએ કે આપણે એવું જ થવું છે ને એવું જ કરવું છે કે આપણે અહીંયાથી નીકળી જવું છે અને જવું છે ભગવાન પાસે. તો
ઓલું કઈ ને ભલે હું ભલે ફૂલ ના થાઉં પણ એની સુગંધ થોડીક થઈ શકું તોય ઘણું.
That's nice actually. That's humility. That's very important. પણ આપણો એમ હોવું જોઈએ કે મારે આ જીવનમાં જ જવું છે પાછું. જેટલું મારાથી થશે એટલું કરવાનો જ છું.
ટ્રાય કરીએ પણ તમને નથી લાગતું, આઈ ડોન્ટ નો, હું એમ કહું છું કે આપણે બધા જે સમાજમાં રહીએ છીએ ને, આપણે ગમે એટલી ટ્રાય કરીએ, આઈ ડોન્ટ નો, પણ ક્યાંક આપણે પાછા પડી જાય છે. વાય આઈ ડોન્ટ નો, બીકોઝ
આ કલિયુગ છે, પણ ભગવાન એ સમજે છે કે આ કલિયુગ છે, ઇઝ વેરી હાર્ડ. પણ ભગવાન એમ જોશે કે આ કલિયુગ છે, પણ મારો દીકરો મારી દીકરી તો એ કોશિશ તો કરે છે, તો હું એ હેલ્પ કરીશ એને. કલિયુગ છે એટલે ભગવાને દયાળુ વધારે છે.
And that's true, એ હેલ્પ તો કરે જ છે,
Now, અમે સ્કૂલે, when we used to go to school, the teacher used to tell us, you aim for the highest, you aim for the A star. If you don't get it, that's okay. But you aim high and you make sure you work hard. If you don't get it, at least you tried, you know.
Don't give up,
Don't give up, ever. Don't give up, ever. No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So these five are the upper planetary systems. These two here, Bhuvar and Bhulok, are middle planetary systems, and these 7 planets are the lower planetary systems. So we'll have a look at Bhulok. The Bhulok is in the middle planetary system and it's split. So it has several sections. Firstly, the servants of devatas live there, like the Gandharvas. Gandharvas are great singers and dancers. Apsaras are the magical, the beautiful, heavenly damsels.
Dancing.
Yakshas are quite hard to describe actually, but they are very powerful living entities. They reside.
Sevak, is a sevak, isn't it? Bhagwan na sevak, yaks.
They can be, but they don't have to be. But they're extremely powerful. Extremely. These yakshas met. They captured the Duryodhan at one time, and then Bhim and Arjun saved.
Oh yeah, question કર્યા હતા એને બધા પાણીમાં. Yeah.
No, that was a little different. Yeah, I know what you mean though. મહાભારતમાં એ છે ઓલું.
Yeah, એને પાણીમાં કંઈક પાણી ભરવા ગયા ત્યારે યક્ષે એને સવાલ કર્યા હતા કંઈક બધા.
That was actually Yamraj. પણ જ્યારે પહેલા ફોરેસ્ટમાં ગયા ને ત્યારે the yakshas came and fought and captured Duryodhan.
Okay.
And at that time, Bhim and Arjun saved him. Yeah. Another lot of souls who live there in Bhuvalok is the ghostly spirits and the Rakshasas. They also live there in comfort and because why do they live there? Because they had a desire to go to enjoy. So the Lord fulfills their desires as well, even though they don't believe in the Lord. But they were not complete Rakshasas. They were
they
not,
got some ability to go
yeah,
there because of some seva. Sometimes
some
there are
accidental seva. Yeah. That's right. And then we have Brulok. Okay, Nanivan, thank you so much, Nanivan. The planet, actually, we can stop here. Let's stop here, and then we can continue tomorrow. We'll talk about Brulok and the other 7 lower planetary systems. Any questions, Madhuben?
No, up to here I just
You've
understood.
done very good. Thank you so much. Shyam Malini, any questions? Sunil, any questions?
Yeah, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. No, you were saying the ghosts, they live there. Why they live there?
That's a good question. It's because they're not necessarily completely demoniac. But they had the desire to enjoy in a heavenly setting. So because they were not completely demoniac, the Lord creates this particular place for them to stay. It's a little hard because to understand completely why, because it's in between. These souls are in between. They're sort of not completely demoniac, but they're also not heavenly. But they've done some pious activity. They are eligible to go to heaven, but they don't go to heaven. They go to Bhuvalok.
And the Rakshasas.
Same, exactly the same. Exactly.
I think, sorry, I just understood that ખરાબ માણસ છે તો સારા માણસની આપણે ઓળખ મળે છે અને એની વેલ્યુ થાય છે. તો આઈ થિંક રાક્ષસ છે તો બીજા જે છે એ લોકોની વેલ્યુ થાય અને રાક્ષસ એટલે જ કદાચ ભગવાને બનાવ્યા છે કે ખબર પડે કે આ રાક્ષસની આ વૃત્તિ છે ને બીજા બધાની આ વૃત્તિ છે.
That's it, yeah. As an
એટલે
example.
પણ ઈ બનાવવા માટે ભગવાને એને અમુક શક્તિ આપી હોય ને અમુક નેગેટિવ શક્તિ આપી હોય.
બરોબર છે.
અને એમાંથી પણ પછી એ લોકો પોતાની જાતને ઇમ્પ્રૂવ કરી શકે છે.
Yeah.
I understood like that, but ખબર નહીં સાચું સમજુ છું કે ખોટું સમજ મને ખબર.
No, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Because nobody can be bad all the time, So
yeah,
they're given an opportunity to improve as well.
The Rakshas, Prabhu, they are not bad?
They're not as bad as they're bad, but they're not. But still, they've done some pious activity to get to Bhuvalok, and they're not as bad as the other, the real demoniac Rakshasas. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little hard to comprehend and reconcile this, but there's a different category of ghostly spirits and Rakshasas who are not completely demoniac, who can attain the heavenly planets, but because they're not, they're not completely pious, they get to this place, Bhuvalok.
જયારે આપણે રાવણ અને રામની મને બધું યાદ નથી, થોડું જ યાદ છે, પણ રાવણ અને રામની અમુક જે લોકોની ડિસ્કશન આપણે સાંભળીએ કે જ્યારે લંકા ઉપર લંકામાં લડવા ગયા હતા એ પહેલા રામને જોતું હતું કે પૂજા થાય અને પૂજા કોણ કરે તો કે જે પાકો વૈષ્ણવ હોય ઈ. અને મને એમ કે રાવણને એને ત્યારે હતો પાકો વૈષ્ણવ એટલે એને રાવણને એને બોલાવ્યા હતા ત્યાં. અને એને જો પૂજા કરી, રામની પાસે બેસીને એને પૂજા કરી, that means એ લોકોનું ત્યાં આગળ હજી બીજા ઘણા સંવાદો છે, મને બધા યાદ નથી, ડિસ્કશન છે, તો એના ઉપર આપણને એમ લાગે કે રાવણ એ રાક્ષસ હતો, રાક્ષસ જાતિનો હતો, પણ એને સ્વર્ગમાં જવા મળ્યું અને ઈ રીતે આવા બધા રાક્ષસોની જગ્યા મળતી હશે. હું તો મારી
Possibly, yes. But Ravan was a little different because initially he attained the spiritual world
Yeah.
because he came from Vaikuntha and Bhagwan himself destroyed him, So,
Yeah.
but that's an interesting example, Shyammalini. Ravan was a Rakshas, but he was also very well versed in the scriptures. And even the Brahmins used to call him to do yagyas.
Yeah.
Because he was so qualified, or knowledgeable. But yet he was a Rakshas. So although Ravan wouldn't have come here because he went back to the spiritual world, but there would be other, Rakshasas or demons like him who would end up in this place. That's
અને
right.
વિભીષણને પણ આપ્યું હતું ને રામે રાજ.
Yeah.
એટલે એવા રાક્ષસો આપણે
But Vibhishan actually was a pure devotee.
Pure devotee, but he was Rakshas.
He was Rakshas, but still, Prahlad, Bali Maharaj, they're all great devotees in that family. Yeah. Good. So Shyammalini, is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu, it makes sense.
It's a tough one to understand.
Prabhu, Apsaras, what did you say they are? Apsaras?
They're the dancing girls.
Dancing girl.
Oh.
Yeah. And they especially serve the demigods, they.
And
They're the singers, and again the dancers, but they're not. They're different from the Apsaras. Their dancing isn't provocative. They're just amazing dancers. But they're also amazing singers. Yeah, and they entertain Indra in his court.
Only Indra, yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah, mainly Indra. Yeah.
Oh,
the purpose of existence. Okay, so let's stop there. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai.